What's going on, guys? So I am here in Bailleul, France, and every time I come to Europe, everybody says I have to come here to France to go to this shop, Reptilis Shop. It's one of the coolest reptile shops in Europe. So I'm heading in and I'm gonna give you guys a tour of Reptilis Shop here in France. They have some reptiles in there that we just don't get to see a lot of in North America or other places in the world. I am really looking forward to getting into Reptilis and take a tour of one of the coolest reptile shops here in Europe. I'm Dave Kaufman, and these are my reptile adventures. So as soon as you walk into Reptilis here in France, you can see just how amazing this place is. The attention to detail, the way that all these enclosures are presented to a potential customer is just ingenious. We've got tortoises over there, we've got lizards over here, snakes over there, and you can instantly tell that this is not a reptile shop that just does the bare minimum to show off the reptiles that they have for sale. There is an aesthetic to this place that is very rarely seen. And not only that, but the design of each individual enclosure has such attention to detail and such a really amazing aesthetic. Literally, as soon as you walk into this place, you can tell that there is something different and very special about this place. I know we don't have a lot of time in this video to show it off, but I definitely want to go through every one of these enclosures. I am really looking forward to checking out this shop. So this is Clément, and how long have you been employed by Reptilis?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years?
Yeah, or maybe a bit more than 2 years, I don't really remember. I came here in 2020.
In 2020.
So 3 years.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so we are here at Reptilis Shop. There is also another facility where you breed. We're going to see that later in another video. But right now, I would love to see a tour of this incredible shop that you have here. Let's just start with this wall. I see you have a pardalis over here, a panther chameleon. Look at this dude.
Yeah, this is the locality Antalaha.
So what I found in Madagascar is that this is a very typical look for pardalis in the wild. And, you know, a lot of people like the nosy bay, a lot of people like the blues and the oranges. But down here, we have one of your specialties and everybody's favorite lizard,
He's actually
the dragon.
Oh yeah, he's the mascot. Can you say the mascot?
The mascot, sure.
He's the mascot. I've called him Denver, just like the dinosaur.
Yeah.
And can you believe this one is actually wild caught?
Really?
Yes.
Look at how gentle he is.
Yeah, I didn't do so much to tame him. I've just spent time and repeated my actions like watering, because he drinks out of the mister. Right. Yeah, he eats out of tongues, and now he eats right out of my fingers.
Oh wow.
But it's an intelligent lizard, because you just need to spend time with him, and now I can pet him, I can do whatever I want without fearing of anything.
So now, how do you have this designed? I see lizards over here, I see more lizards over here, but these center pieces right here, you've got 3 of them.
Yeah.
And these are ingenious. So you've got this top part where people can see everything on top, and then on the bottom you have enclosures on the bottom. I mean, this is one of the coolest displays I've seen in a reptile shop.
Thank you.
But here you have tons of different corn snakes. And are you breeding corn snakes here at the breeding facility?
So Stéphane Rossel is the owner.
Okay.
And he previously started a breeding center where he was the first professional breeder in France. And he had a lot of corn snakes morphs. So that's why we can have a lot of choice here, because we are not buying, we're producing them.
Perfect.
Yes. And he came up with this idea of showcasing the animals, taking the rack spirit and turning into a display that works just like this. We've got magnets, so I just pull here and I can service the animals, unraveling here the heat mat.
Oh wow.
Really easy, isn't it?
That is really ingenious.
Yes.
And this is so customer friendly because they can just come right up here, look at, you know, the Pituophis that is being a Pituophis, and see all the corn snakes. Over here we have leopard geckos, which we'll see in a second. As soon as I walked in here and I saw this, I was like, this is a really cool shop.
You can smell the passion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can smell the passion, not the snakes, which is a good sign for a reptile shop.
A lot of cleaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lot of cleaning.
And then over here we have
The Pac-Man frogs.
the Pac-Man frogs. Look at this one. This one's really interesting.
Yes. A little backstory on that one. He came up as green, and when he got a little bit of age, the color started to change.
Oh, wow.
And now we have this peculiar color that we are calling mutant.
That's a mutant.
Yes, for sure. Grumpy little one.
Okay, that is just cool. All right, and then I see behind us here, we have more lizards, which are just amazing. I see we have Persinus,
Yes,
which are green tree monitors.
And they were born in captivity. Every time you see the two letters NC, which stands for né captivité in French, meaning born in captivity. This is really important to relieve a bit of pressure from taking those animals from the wild, and look at them, how friendly they are.
Wow. Now, how popular are tree monitors in Europe?
Very, very. We have also influencers that have those types of lizards.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's seeing how great they are, how tame they can be. So yes, they are quite popular.
These are getting more and more popular in the United States and Canada all the time.
Yeah, as they should be.
Absolutely. All right, so moving on to another enclosure, you have something that I am geeking out about.
Yeah.
You have leaf mimic lizards, and these are Stenocercus, and these are one of the species that I wanted to see when I was in Peru, and we saw them. And you don't see a lot of these in North American stores or collections, but these are amazing. Can we take one out?
Yes, we can.
And that is the reason they're called leaf mimics. Right down to the lateral line, the lines of the leaf, and when these guys are sitting in the leaves, they completely disappear. When I was in Peru, I probably walked by 100 of these. For every one that I actually saw, these are really amazing lizards. And these are available in the United States, but not in really big numbers. And the ones that are there are imports. They don't do very well. Are these captive bred as well?
Yes, they are.
Very cool. Okay, so here is another lizard that is near and dear to my heart. These are forest dragons from Thailand. We were just finding these a couple of months ago in Thailand. Look at that. Now, how rare are these in Europe?
They are becoming more and more available. It's a species that has been discovered lately, but they are quite easy to breed, quite easy to keep, not very fearful of anything, as you can see.
Yeah.
So I think that with the efforts of breeders, we might see them more often in Europe.
Zilla has everything you need for your reptile pets, from caging to lighting and everything in between. To see their entire catalog and find out where you can get Zilla products near you, visit zillarules.com.
The scaleless corns are a specialty in Reptilis because Stefan, the boss,
This is Stefan.
the big boss,
Bonjour.
aka
Bonjour,
Reptile
how are you?
legend, glorious leader as
The
well.
glorious leader, yes.
He has many names. So he came up with a clutch of scaleless corns 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
18 years ago, he had some scaleless corn snakes, and they are still very popular. They are still a bit more expensive than the normal ones, but when you produced them, they were expensive.
Yeah, very
Like,
expensive.
How much?
We sell the first one to BHB at
BHB Reptiles,
Yeah.
Yep, Brian.
10K.
10,000 euros.
Wow.
And now the price went down, and we are selling those a bit more, 200 euros, depending on the morph.
And so the scaleless corn snake was developed for the first time in Europe, wasn't it?
In
it
France.
was bred for the first time
first
here
time
in France. That's what I thought. It's very interesting because this is a snake that is native to the United States.
Yeah.
And here in Europe, on the other side of the world, you're doing more with the corn snakes than we are in their native land.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's move on over here.
Yes.
This is one of the things that I love. So you've got this green tree python just sitting right here. Look at how friendly this snake is, and he is just sitting just right out in the open. I can just reach up and touch him, and he doesn't move, as if he's not even real.
He's a fan.
Yeah. He's not real. This is just decoration. We're moving on over here. What's next?
Okay, you have here every boas and pythons in the very same rack fashion that you like.
So we've got white lips over here. We've got clown ball pythons right there. But what I geek out about is the Candoya, the ground boas. Let's see this guy. Oh, look at that. These guys are so variable and so underrated. And these come from the Solomon Islands, which I am planning a trip to go find these in the wild. But they're so variable, and they're come in all sorts of different shades, darker ones, lighter ones. This one is actually one of the nicest I've seen. So how popular are these in European collections?
They're not that popular because people don't really know about them.
Yeah, same in the United States.
Although there is the Santa Isabel ones, you know, the white ones. They are very popular.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We are sold out every time that we have some.
Oh, really?
So yeah, if you can have the brown, the reddish, but if we have the Santa Isabel, people are geeking about them.
All right, so over here, hiding in the corner, these guys caught my eye because I just saw these guys in Madagascar. But you guys have, what is there, a pair in there?
There's a pair, yeah.
There's a pair. And these guys are just amazing lizards that are, again, are so underrated. So that's obviously the male up top. Can we take him out? These are sometimes called Madagascar iguanas. They are an iguanid, but they're like Madagascar's giant collared lizards, and they're just so amazing. And look at the spikes on that tail. But they are a little flighty, and they are a little nervous to be held, so we're not going to hold this one very much longer. I just wanted to show these off because these are so amazing. All right, so over here we have something that is very rarely seen in North American collections. This looks like it's a tokay gecko, but it's not a tokay gecko. This is one of the other giant geckos in the world. This is Smith-eye, and listen to that. They bark they bark and they bite just like a tokay. So, but look at that. Look at those green eyes he has. And look at that starry night kind of pattern that he has. So we've all heard about tokay geckos, obviously, but there's also other giant geckos that are related to tokay geckos that we really don't see a lot in North American collections. This is another gecko, the genus name gecko, but this is Smith-eye. This is related to tokay geckos. They're big like tokay geckos. They bark, they bite just like tokay geckos, but this guy is so much prettier than any tokay gecko out there. So just like tokay geckos, yeah, I had to ask you to take them out, didn't I? Well, this interview's over.
Call 911.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll just rinse this off.
All right, so down here, Stefan is getting out one of my favorite snake species. Whoa. That is one of the most beautiful Pitayas I've ever seen. Look at that. Usually these guys are greenish. Look at him fanning out his neck like that. This guy is almost black. I mean, look at the belly. The belly is almost jet black. Whoa. So this one came from Sulawesi, and just look at how black with those white bands. Yes, he's talking. He's apparently not very happy to meet me. So these are also called Indo-Chinese rat snakes, and these are one of the biggest colubrids in the world. I mean, that one's just a juvenile, and look at how big it is. That is very, very cool.
Yes.
All right, so moving on, we've got leopard geckos over here.
Yes, we do.
And now, are you breeding a lot of leopard geckos as well?
We are breeding leopard geckos. Actually, Stefan's wife, Anne-Laure, she loves black knights and lemon frost.
Oh yeah.
So we have a bit of breeding of those, but the other vast majority comes from a friend of Stefan. Stefan has many friends, and he works with a professional leopard gecko breeder.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see one of the best leopard geckos you have here.
Best leopard geckos, you gotta go for the bandit. Bandit is my personal favorite because of contrast.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, leopard geckos are probably the most popular gecko in the world. How popular are leopard geckos here in Europe?
They're quite popular. They're
Yeah.
usually the first beginner lizard.
Right.
Even though crested geckos, as you said, are starting to become as popular as the leopard gecko, because there's some people who doesn't want to deal with insects.
Yeah, right.
So we have the powder from Alan Repashi.
Yeah, that's right.
And you mix it up and it's very easy. So for some people that doesn't want to deal with insects, crested geckos are fine, but we are still selling a lot of leopard geckos.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they are popular all over the world.
Yeah.
In Japan, in China.
For good reasons. They're colorful, they're nice.
Absolutely.
They're small. Yeah.
I don't know a single person that doesn't like a leopard gecko.
Yeah. Me neither.
Right. But moving right behind you here, we've got the tortoise section. So we've got Herman's tortoises over here in this enclosure over here. We've got, who's in here?
Herman's again.
Oh, we got more Hermans. Look at these little baby Hermans right here. But it's right here that I'm really excited about. This is a marginated tortoise. But if you look at the scutes on the back of the shell there, that's where it gets the name marginated tortoise. And those are unique, that those scutes kind of shoot out the back like that. And it really creates a very unique look to this tortoise. And this is why these are so popular. What else do we have to see here? What's along this back wall here?
This back wall, we have smaller terrariums for smaller animals. We have a very nice specimen of crested gecko here.
Oh, we got
That's
to see the
worth the
cresty.
film.
Oh,
Look at that.
that. That's like a red Dalmatian.
We call it red super Dalmatian.
Red super
Yeah,
Dalmatian.
there's a lot of black dots.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a nice gargoyle gecko. So are you breeding a lot of gargoyle geckos here?
Not a lot, because believe it or not, the gargoyle gecko is not as popular as all the other New Caledonian gecko, but the cresties are more popular.
Right. So the gargoyle geckos really haven't taken off yet here in Europe.
No.
They are in the United States.
Yeah.
And there are some amazing color morphs being bred in the United States. It's just a matter of time before they get here to France.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah. All right, so we've seen a lot of really amazing snakes and lizards, but you guys also have frogs here.
Yes.
And you have one that just caught my eye. You have a Crucio hyla in here, which is one of my favorite frogs. We've got to take a look at this guy.
Of course.
Look at this. These are my favorite frogs. Did you see these when you were in Peru?
I was looking for them, but they were never to be found.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Now, are you breeding these as well?
No, we are not. Frogs are a lot of work if you want to breed them.
That's true.
Yes, rain chamber, taking care of the tadpoles. So even though they are here in Europe very pricey, we cannot work with them at the moment.
So this is the main part of the store that has all the amazing reptiles in it, but you come back here and this is the part of the shop that has all the dry goods, all the cork bark, everything you need for your reptile enclosures. But there's also something else cool back here that you don't see in a lot of reptile shops, and something that I wish a lot of other reptile shops around the world would have. They've got a bar where you can sit and have a coffee, a beer, and you can sit and talk about reptiles and share ideas with each other, talk about how you're breeding your reptiles, what you're working with, and not only that, but they actually brew their own beer. How cool is that?
We call it the Chenille because it's a blonde.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah. Since the jungle carpet python is the logo of Reptilis and we love beer, we needed to make our own beer with the blonde, of course, the Chenille. It's a meeting point for passionate people here.
This is such a simple idea that is so kind of overlooked with a lot of other reptile shops that I've been to, because you really, what are you guys watching back here? They get darker. You can see by his belly here. You guys really don't have a lot of good standards in your programming, do you? But that's awesome. You have that playing. You also have other YouTubers channels that are playing here. So people can come, they can sit, they can have a coffee, they can have some candy. they can have some beer, they can watch their favorite YouTube channel. This is like the coolest reptile shop, one of the coolest that I've ever been to.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for this tour. This has been absolutely awesome. We are now going to go to the breeding facility, and that video is coming up soon. But again, look at this. This is one of the greatest and coolest reptile shops I have ever toured. So one of the things that I love about my travels is getting to see amazing reptile shops like this, getting to meet really cool people, and getting to see reptiles that we just don't get to see in North America, and this place did not disappoint. This was one of the coolest reptile shops I've ever been to, and it was a pleasure to meet you, and it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the tour. Guys, from here, we are going to Reptilius breeding facility. That video is coming up next week, so hit that subscribe button when you do, hit that bell so you do not miss that upload. And until the next reptile adventure from here at Reptilius at the breeding facility, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.